City Cats is an animated feature starring two New York City cats, Louie and Duke, who live with a detective named Sidney Katz. Sidney, like all great detectives, works alone. He limits his cases to insurance fraud and lets the police take care of violent crimes.
Well, I gotta look on the bright side. If I didn't have you two guys, I wouldn't have any friends at all.
I had a life of danger. I used to fight the crime. The cheaters and beaters and bottom feeders and all that rotten slime.
He augments his income by making educated selections at the racetrack. Sidney and the Cats exist almost exclusively on egg rolls from Wing Hop's restaurant in his building. One day they get a client to find a missing person, and not a nice person. Louie is ambitious to find the missing person, but Duke is not so sure.
You say that I'm an A-type personality, a taking control freak with impossibly high demand. Yeah, with you and me, and he and she and they and them and us.
But they find the missing person, and the case begins. Meanwhile, a jewelry store in New York's Diamond District is robbed of a valuable set of identical stones, the 5 Angels. The gang of robbers are directed by an evil red cat. The gang barely escapes from the police. Soon they rob each other, and the chase is on. Through the rainy, dark streets of New York. Against his better judgment, Sidney is involved in the chase with Louie and Duke leading him on.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going, then you'll see my true colors are showing through.
Sidney's old friend, Lieutenant McGuffey, discovers that the police captain is crooked and has planned the robbery. His helper is a crooked cop named Lieutenant Bent.
If you're in a pickle and you're in the dumps, if the road you have chosen has too many bumps.
The young delivery man, Mike, from Wing Hop's restaurant, is experimenting with drones to deliver Chinese food in the cold streets. He is boyfriend to Wing Lee, who is a beautiful Chinese girl and a talented seamstress. Wing Lee makes Louie and Duke trench coats and slouch hats, so they look like detectives. The chase is wild through the streets. The evil red cat falls into the river and escapes into the subway.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
McGuffey confronts the police captain with the red cat. Duke looks for Louie from the flying drone. He sees the police captain trying to shake the diamonds out of the red cat. A bullet from Lieutenant Bent's gun slices off the red cat's tail. The action winds up in the confusion of the St. Patrick's Day parade with bands and step dancers. Sidney fights with Lieutenant Bent while a New York Police Department helicopter circles overhead. The sharpshooter in the helicopter tries to shoot Lieutenant Bent, but hits Sidney by mistake. And Louie weeps over Sidney's prostrate body. Newspaper headlines show Sidney is exonerated.
We were so young, and I was so blind, prone to being dumb, and sometimes unkind.
Sidney's wife sees the headlines and realizes she misjudged him. She comes to his hospital room and meets the cats, and all is forgiven. The film ends at a happy picnic on the banks of the Hudson, and the cats fly off in the drone.
I have dreamed about you now.